I'm Eletta Stradella, and I was coordinator of the Jean Monnet module European Law and Gender ELAN since 2019 to 2022, and I was in charge of the first course in European Law and Gender held at the University of Pisa. I have been president of the Equal Opportunities and Non-Discrimination Committee of the University of Pisa since 2017 to 2021, and I've been rector's delegate in the Gender Equality Plan team of the University of Pisa that I coordinated. Well, European Women's Law and Gender Action, EUWONDER, addresses the topic of gender equality within the European legal order. It identifies relevant principles, regulations, and good practices, analyzes their impact on both the European Union and member states in the fields of political representation, gender-based violence, reproductive rights, welfare, and markets. It discusses the perspectives of the integration of gender analysis at all levels of policy and regulation with a commitment to equality and anti-discrimination, trying to promote intersectionality as a cross-cutting vision in European law and policies within the EU Gender Equality Strategy 2020-2025. EUWONDER aims at achieving innovative teaching, training practices, and policy recommendations grounded on scientific research, enhancing the network on European law and gender already created by ELAN module. The chair covers two main courses, both held over the 3-year period and enhanced by seminars held by renowned experts, members of the EUWONDER staff, open also to PhD students and involving them as discussant. It will also cover a module of a course directed to undergraduate students of all departments at the University of Pisa, with a special attention, of course, to so-called STEM students. A training activity aimed at high school teachers, a course aimed at University of Pisa civil servants that will be converted in an online package for all Italian universities, and finally, an international workshop on gender and populism that will be held in 2023, and a final conference. Now I want to present my teaching and researching staff. First of all, Angeletta Sperti. Angeletta Sperti is, like me, a professor of comparative public law at the University of Pisa. She's an expert in the field of gay rights and constitutional courts, freedom of conscience and abortion. She's the author of many very important books on these issues. Valentina Bonini is professor of criminal procedure at the University of Pisa. She's one of the most important Italian scholars in the field of gender-based violence and the Istanbul Convention. Elisabetta Catelani is professor of constitutional law at the University of Pisa, and her skills concern political representation and gender parity, gender gap in politics, and affirmative actions in the electoral field. She was a member of working groups at the Italian government just in this sector. Valentina Calderai is professor of private comparative law at the University of Pisa, and she studies surrogacy and gender rights with a feminist approach. She is vice coordinator of the PhD in law at our university. Saul Panizza is professor of constitutional law at the Department of Political Science. He is director of the University Center for Communication and Dissemination of Culture, and has been working for a long time with high school students and teachers to promote awareness and knowledge on Italian Constitution and fundamental rights. Francesca Martinez is professor of European Union law, and she collaborates in this project as an expert of the EU, its system of government, court of justice, and its case law. Some external eminent scholars are part of our staff. Stefano Osella is postdoctoral research fellow at Bocconi University in Milan and research partner at the Max Planck Institute for Social Anthropology at the Department of Law and Anthropology. His studies focus on gender identity and gender binarism. Mara Malagodi was professor at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Now she's a reader at the Warwick Law School. She's a scholar of the Honourable Society of the Middle Temple, a barrister in England and Wales. And she's also the award-winning documentary filmmaker. Mara is a comparative constitutional lawyer and social legal scholar with a linguistically informed specialism in South Asian law and politics, human rights law, gender law, legal history, and law and film. Barbara De Micheli is one of the coordinators and head of the Social Justice Unit in Fondazione Giacomo Bordolini in Rome. She's learning facilitator, senior project manager, and senior researcher on projects dealing with fundamental rights, industrial relations, social security issues, gender equality, access to employment, social and labor policies with a gender perspective. She has over 20 years of experience in training multicultural groups on diversity and inclusion, business development and business planning, and she's used to coordinate cross-national projects funded by various European agencies. Natalia Rueda is professor of civil law, family and children law at the Externado de Colombia University. Her most important researches focus on gender and children perspective in law, with particular reference to compensation claims and civil liability for intrafamily torts, institutional violence, domestic violence, and sex-based violence, people deprived of liberty, and surrogacy. And she's fellow of the European Law Institute. Last but not least, our special guest in the EUWONDER project is Ruth Rubio Marin. Ruth is professor of constitutional law at the University of Sevilla and at the School of Transnational Governance at the European University Institute in Florence. She's also director of the UNESCO Chair in Human Rights and Multiculturalism at the International University of Andalusia. Ruth is an outstanding scholar on the interrelations between law, gender, diversity, and I strongly recommend you read her last book, Global Gender Constitutionalism and Women's Citizenship: A Struggle for Transformative Inclusion, just published by Cambridge University Press, and this book is for the EUWONDER Chair, a sort of inspiration. I want also to thank my collaborator and EUWONDER project manager, Giovanna Spanò, for her fundamental support in scientific coordination, management, and dissemination, and the youngest member of the group, Alessia Riccioli, PhD student in comparative law at the University of Pisa. An exciting trip to all of us. Please follow EUWONDER channel and visit our blog and website. Bye-bye.